one of the things that you're going to need tonight for sure is 2 blocks and a yoga strap. And I talked about this a lot, but just so that you know again, if you don't have blocks on hand at home, you can use throw pillows from your couch or even bed pillows to bring the floor closer to you. You can use books if we're not using the blocks to be supportive underneath our joints. And if you don't have a strap, you can use a belt, necktie, or even a beach towel. Again, just making the poses more accessible if you need them. So we're going to go ahead and get started lying down on the back. And we're going to use our blocks, okay? So here, if you don't have blocks, you can feel free to use those throw pillows. And what we're going to do is we'll come to lie down on the back and bring your props with you. Bend your knees, bring your feet flat. Soles of the feet together, knees fall open wide, and boom, you've got those props just there to support the knees if the hips or low back feel tight. And just settle into it. Shift around a few times. Shift the hair, the clothes, your body. Find a position that works for you. And then bring your awareness to your breath. Just notice how you're breathing. Notice your inhales. Notice your exhales. If your breath is coming in a bit short or ragged, begin to slow it down. And then begin to deepen your breath. Take a slow, steady inhale through your nose. Fill your lungs with air. And then open up your mouth. Sigh all of your air out. Good, do another like that. Inhale, fill up to the top. Exhale, sigh it all out. Seal your lips, begin to inhale through the nose and out of the nose. Work on finding a rhythm to your breath that you can maintain for the rest of our class. Keep the slow and the steady inhales. And use your exhales to empty out entirely. Soften the muscles, the hinge of your jaw. Scan your body from head to toe. If you note any areas that feel tight, tense, or sore, start to send your breath there. And then be mindful of those areas as we begin to move in practice this evening. Good. Take one more deep breath in, fill up. Stay for the exhale. Let it go. And just carefully take your hands to the outside of your knees. Close the knees together. You can place the props over to the side. And you're going to keep the knees bent, but walk your feet wide to the edge of your mat. And then just knock your knees in towards each other. What we're doing here, we're just moving the hips in an opposite direction. If it helps you to stay connected to the breath, bring your hands to your belly, right below your belly button, so that you can note that on the inhales, your belly rises underneath your hands. On your exhales, your belly lowers and moves away from your hands. Good. Now start to move the knees back and forth like they're windshield wipers. And see how slow and controlled you can make the movement. You're just going right and left a few times. Use the movement to kind of check in with how your low back and hips are doing. Every day is different based on what you did the day before. Good. Do one more on each side just to even it out. Come on back to center and bring your feet back into hip width, and then hug the knees into the chest. It might feel nice to sway side to side here. Maybe even draw some circles on the ceiling with your feet. The knees stay in the chest, but this time you're going to take your hands behind the knees. Rock and roll the length of your spine a few times. You just want to get enough momentum to come up into a seat. And then you are going to bring your props with you, because you may or may not need those later on. Good. Now from here, go ahead and make your way to tabletop any way that you're comfortable, to hands and knees. And think about stacking your shoulders over your wrist, your hips over your knees. Your next inhale is cow pose. Belly lowers and gaze goes forward. Your exhale is cat pose. Round your spine and take your gaze down. Good. Do another like that. Inhale, cow pose. And then exhale, fine cat. Now you can start to take these movements on your own breath. Feel free to stay a bit longer in one of the poses, especially if it gives your spine a nice stretch. You can stay with the cat-cow breaths or start to take other movements to open up. There's really no right or wrong here. Just go where your body wants to go. You find a tight spot, stay there for a few breaths. Work it out. Slowly come on back to center, and then we're going to find our first downward facing dog. So curl your toes, send your hips high, press the thighs back. Might feel nice to ease into this first one with a little movement. So go ahead, walk your dog, or maybe even sway your hips from side to side. Really try to relax your neck. Nod your head yes a few times, shake it no. And just allow the crown of your head to be heavy. Now start to walk your hands back towards your feet. And you want to keep a soft bend in your knees, just enough to either bring your hands down to the floor, or hands can reach up, grab opposite elbows to hang in ragdoll. Good. Now you can do this pose in stillness. You can sway side to side. Make sure the crown of the head is still weighted down so there's no tension in your neck. Slowly come back to center. Release your hands down to the mat. And then keep that soft bend to your knees as you roll up to standing slowly. One vertebrae at a time. Nice. And then we're going to meet at the top of the mat and start to link our breath with movement. So on your next inhale, bring your arms up and overhead. On your exhale, soft bend to your knees as you fold over your legs. Inhale, bring your hands to your shins, elongate your spine. And then exhale, fold over your legs, release. Inhale your arms up and overhead. Exhale your hands to your heart. So we'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, draw a circle with your hands. Exhale, hinge at your hips and fold. Inhale, hands to shins, shine the crown of your head forward. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale your arms up and overhead. Exhale, draw a straight line down to your heart. Let's do one more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale your arms up and overhead. Exhale, hands down to heart. So we'll just add on from there. Inhale your arms up. Exhale, hinge forward and fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Good. Plant your palms, step back to downward facing dog. On your next inhale, come up high onto your toes. Shift forward to plank, the top of a push-up, and pause. Now on your exhale, we're going to come down to the mat. You can always bring the knees down first. Everything hits the floor, tops of the feet are flat. And then inhale to a baby cobra. Press down into the tops of the feet. Lift up your chest and roll your shoulder heads back. Little to no weight in the hands. Exhale, come down. Press up to hands and knees. Find your downward facing dog. Take a nice deep breath here as we hold. Stay for that exhale, side out. Inhale, come up high in the toes, bend the knees, look forward. Exhale, take tiny little steps to the top of your mat. Inhale, bring your hands to your shins. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, your arms up and overhead. And then exhale, hinge and fold forward once more. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold, plant palms, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, shift to plank, pause. Exhale, lower down to the floor, knees lowered or lifted. Inhale to a cobra pose. Like a wave, lift your chest, loop your shoulders up the top. Exhale, come down. You can find downward facing dog through plank or tabletop, you choose. Take a nice deep breath as we hold. Stay for that exhale, let it go. Inhale, come up high in the toes, bend the knees, look forward. Exhale, take tiny little steps to the top of the mat. Inhale, bring your hands to your shins. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, bring your arms up and overhead. We'll do one more round. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Plant your palms, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, shift to plank, pause. Exhale, lower all the way or halfway through chaturanga. Inhale to cobra or upward facing dog, you choose. Exhale, find your downward facing dog. Take an inhale here as we hold. Stay for that exhale, let it go. Good, come on down to hands and knees. And let's take a well-deserved child's pose. So big toes touch, knees go wide. Send your hips toward your heels. Your forehead can rest down to the mat, to one of your props. Or do what I like to do. Make a little pillow out of your forearms. Rest your forehead there. Take the next few rounds of breath just to reground and reconnect. Slow, steady inhales to fill up. Full commitment exhales to let go. Good. Take one more deep breath in, fill up. Stay for that exhale, side out. Good. We're going to come back up to hands and knees. Bring the right leg long, keep the toes curled, and shift back and forth a few times. This will stretch out not only the back of your leg, but the arch of your foot. Now take your leg, cross it over to the left, toes are down, and then look over your left shoulder, bring your gaze to your big toe. Good, take one more inhale. And then on the exhale, bring the right leg back to center. Begin to lift the right toes up off the mat. The toes point down so your hips stay neutral. And then reach your left fingertips forward as if you're about to shake someone's hand. Take an inhale as you extend through the fingers and the toes. And then on the exhale, slowly tap your fingers and toes down to the mat. Good, let's do that again. Inhale, extend. And exhale, tap down. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, let's reach long and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hand and knee can come down. Go ahead and sit back onto your heels. Roll your wrists out a little bit. Lots of weight bearing on the wrists. So you just like to let that go. Open them up a bit. And then come back to tabletop, and we'll do all of that on the other side. Reach the left leg long. Toes stay curled. Shift back and forth a few times. Cross the leg over to the right, toes are down, look over your right shoulder, bring your gaze to your big toe. Good, take one more inhale. Exhale, bring the leg back to center and then lift the left toes up off the floor. Toes point down. Reach your right fingertips forward. Inhale as you reach through the fingers and the toes. Exhale as you tap fingers and toes down. Inhale, extend, and exhale, tap it down. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, reach long, let's hold it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hand and knee comes down. Sit back onto your heels. Once again, roll out your wrists. Good. And then come back to tabletop. Find your downward facing dog. Inhale and reach your right leg high and back. Exhale, bring your knee into your chest. Hold, hover, round your spine like you would in cat pose. Inhale your right leg high and back. Exhale, knee to chest, shoulders over wrists. Inhale your right leg high and back. Exhale, knee to chest, look forward, right foot to right thumb lunge. Good. Now, this is where you might want to use props underneath your hands. And on any height, you see how that just makes the floor a little bit closer to you? We're going to add a pulse in this shape. So before we do anything, wiggle your right foot closer to your right thumb or block. And then on your next inhale, let the hips get heavy and press your left heel away from you like you're trying to kick a wall behind your heel. And then on your exhale, straighten your front leg any amount, bow forward. Now, leg doesn't have to be straight. You're going with your range of motion. Inhale back, bend back into your right knee, lunge. And then exhale, straighten and bow. Let's do one more. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Inhale, bend back into your right knee. And then on your exhale, go ahead, lower that back knee down, the left knee all the way to the mat. Now, we're going to take a half splits here. I highly recommend it. Props underneath the hands. So what's going to happen here is we're going to start to straighten the right leg and flex the right foot. You'll walk your fingertips or your props underneath your shoulders and on any height, okay? You want to try to keep length in your spine. So that means from your tailbone out to the crown of your head, you've got length. You're not rounding the spine. When you round the spine in this pose, it takes away to the stretch to the back of the leg. That's what we're trying to get to right now, your hamstring. Good. Now, we're going to walk our blocks over to the right and then dial our toes, our right toes down to the floor like so. Okay? Kind of like you're just kind of tick-tocking your toes down. Good. You can tense your fingertips on your props here and kind of let your elbows flare. Dip your chest forward. Gonna take one more inhale. And then on the exhale, come on back to center, rebend the right knee, place the props over to the side, and then you're gonna curl your right toes and lift up to a lunge again. Plant your hands, send the right leg to plank. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, your back bend. Exhale, find downward facing dog. Inhale and breathe, left leg high and back. Exhale, knee to chest, hold, hover, and round your spine. Inhale, left leg high and back. Exhale, knee to chest, shoulders over wrists. Inhale, left leg high and back. Exhale, knee to chest, look forward. Left foot to left thumb lunge. Remember, you can use blocks here on any height. Walk your left foot closer to your block or your left thumb. And then inhale, let your hips get heavy. Exhale, straighten the front leg and bow. Any amount. Inhale, bend into your knee lunge. Exhale, straighten and bow. One more, inhale and exhale. Inhale, bend into your front knee lunge. Exhale, lower the right knee down to the floor, right foot flat. Straighten the left leg, flex the left foot, slide your fingertips or your blocks underneath your shoulders. Think about pressing the left heel forward as you send the left hip back. And curl your left toes towards your knee so that you not only stretch out the back of your leg, but your calf muscle and the arch of your foot. All right, we're gonna walk the blocks over to the left. Dial down your left toes. They might not touch all the way, just go with your range of motion. And then let your elbows flare as you dip your chest forward. Good, take an inhale. Exhale, we're coming back to center. Bend into the left knee, release the blocks. Plant your hands and lift your right leg up to a lunge. Send your left leg to a plank. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, your back bend. Exhale, find downward facing dog. On your next inhale, come up high in your toes, shift to plank, pause here. Exhale, hips high, thighs back, downward facing dog. Good, let's do another. Inhale, shift to plank, pause. Exhale, hips high, thighs back, downward facing dog. One more. Inhale to plank, pause and stabilize. Exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale and breathe, right leg high and back. Exhale, bend your knees, stack your hips. You might feel nice to circle your ankle or maybe even your knee. If you like stillness, let the right heel get heavy to the left side of the mat. You'll feel that top hip fan open. Re-square your hips. Bring knee into chest, look forward. Bring your foot between your thumbs. Back heel's gonna drop down. On the next inhale, the left arm guides you up to a warrior two. On your exhale, adjust your stance. Can you bring your front thigh more parallel to the mat and let your tailbone drop? Now reach your fingers so far away from you, it feels like your arms could grow another inch. Keep the length in your arms, but relax your shoulders away from your ears. We're gonna add a little pulse. Inhale, straighten the front leg, palms touch overhead. Exhale, bend back into your knee, warrior two. Let's do that again. Inhale and exhale. One more. Inhale, straighten front leg, palms touch. Exhale to warrior two. Inhale, flip your top palm, reverse your warrior. Right arm goes up and over your head. Back hand can rest lightly on back leg. Exhale, your elbow down to your leg. Top arm's gonna swing up and over in your ear. Extended side angle. So we'll go through those movements a few more times. Inhale, reverse. Strong legs. Exhale, extended side angle. One more. Inhale. And exhale, extended side angle. Good, let's hold this pose a bit longer. Use your elbows as a lever to rotate your chest open. And then press down firmly into your back heel as you reach your pinky finger up and overhead. Now I realize everyone's shoulders joint has different mobility. You might look more like this. That's okay. Try for this so that you can really breathe into your left rib cage. Now, the elbow can stay up for more support. You can drop the hand down. You can bring a prop underneath your hand. And press your right bicep into your thigh and thigh back into bicep. Good, take one more inhale. And exhale. Come on back. Warrior two. Good. Now straighten your front leg. Hands come to hips. You're going to turn all 10 toes till they face the camera. Tee out the arms. Bring your feet underneath your wrists. Take an inhale as you press down into your feet. Exhale as you hinge and fold. Hands will come down to the floor or maybe to a prop. Take a soft micro bend to your knees. Shift all of your weight to the ball mounds of your feet. This is going to send your tailbone high. Crown of the head weighted down, no tension in the neck. And just breathe. Notice where the sensation builds here. Breathe into it. On your next inhale, lift up halfway. And then you're just going to pivot your feet and walk your hands forward until you're in your lunge again. From here, plant your hands and send your right leg to plank. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, find downward facing dog. Inhale and reach left leg high and back. Exhale, bend knee and stack hips. If you want movement, take it. If you prefer stillness, find it. Re-square hips, bring knee into chest, look forward. Left foot between the thumbs, back heel drops. Inhale, the right arm guides you up to a warrior two. Now I'm just going to turn around so you can see me. You stay right where you are. Exhale, adjust the stance. Good, front thigh more parallel to the mat, tailbone drops. Fingers reach away, shoulder blades move down your back. Let's add that pulse. Inhale, straighten your front leg, palms touch overhead. Exhale, back into your knee, warrior two. Let's do that again. Inhale. And exhale. One more. Inhale, straighten your front leg, palms touch overhead. Exhale, bend into your knee, warrior two. Inhale, flip your left palm in reverse. And then exhale, elbow down to thigh, top arm up and over your ear. So we'll do that a few more times. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, extended side angle. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Let's hold extended side angle. Use your elbows as a lever. Rotate your chest open. Press down firmly into the back heel. Pinky finger reaches up and overhead. Really try to breathe into the top rib cage here. And you can keep your elbow up. You can deepen for more sensation. If you do bring your bottom hand down, press thigh into bicep, bicep back into thigh. Good. Take one more inhale. And exhale, come back. Warrior two. Bring your hands to your hips, straighten your front leg. All 10 toes point forward. Tee out your arms. Inhale, press down into your feet. Exhale, hinge and fold. Now, as soon as the hands come down, tap the fingertips, lift up halfway. Plant your left hand down, twist your right arm open. Good. Come back to center. Plant your right hand down, twist your left arm open. Good. Come back to center. Tent your fingertips, lift up halfway, and walk your fingertips forward as you pivot your feet into your in-your lunge. Plant your hands left leg to plank. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, your back bend. Exhale, find downward facing dog. Good. Now, come on down to hands and knees. Take a child's pose, big toes touch, knees go wide, hips to heels, forehead down to rest on something. We're going to take a different shape with our hands though. We're going to bring the palms of the hands together and then bring your hands behind your neck. And press the elbows down into the mat so you can stretch out your triceps and biceps as well. Good. Take one more inhale. Stay for the exhale. Let it go. Good. Now plant your hands down. Tense your right fingertips so you have space underneath your arm. You're going to slide your left arm underneath the right and kind of shift your chest open here. So you can keep the fingertips forward, or you can wrap your right arm around your waist for a bind. Good. Take one more inhale. On the exhale, if you did take that half bind, walk the fingertips forward again. Undo the left arm, temp the left fingertips, and then slide the right arm underneath. You can deepen by walking the left fingertips forward or taking the left arm, wrapping it around your waist for a half bind. Good. Take one more inhale. On the exhale, if you took the half bind, walk the left fingertips forward, undo the right arm, and press up to tabletop. Do a round of your cat-cow. Let that go. And then when you come back to center, we're going to go ahead and take a seat. Give your legs a little shake. And I want you to have two of your props handy, your yoga belt, necktie, whatever you've got, and then at least one block, book, pillow, okay? You're going to walk the left foot slightly off the mat, bend the right knee, and bring the right sole of the foot to the inside of your left leg. Bring your block to the inside of your left knee. And then you're going to make a fist with your left hand, bring your elbow down to the block, your left ear to your fist, and reach the right arm up and overhead. Now, this is option 1. Option 2, you can bend your right elbow, bring the right hand behind the left, and spin your chest open. So try to pin your right hip down and try to engage the left leg by gently pressing the left hamstring down to the floor. And take one more inhale. And then on your exhale, you're going to come back to center. Block can stay where it is, but the strap or necktie, whatever you've got, belt, is going to loop around the ball mount of your left foot. Then you're going to give yourself a little slack on your prop to create some length in your spine. Take an inhale as you press the sitting bones down and reach the crown of the head up. Now on the exhale, you're going to fold over the left leg. To deepen, you can walk your hands up your prop. You can place your forehead on your block on any height. If you don't need the props, go ahead and fold forward. When you get into the fold, you can let your spine round a little bit. And just kind of notice where you're holding your stress this evening. Is it the back of your neck? Is it the space between your shoulder blades? Is it your low back or hips? And then just try to soften the stress, the tension, with your breath. Okay, take one more inhale. And on the exhale, slowly walk the fingertips back, lift up, and then we're going to take a counter twist to the right. Move your fingertips to the right. Left hand to right knee allows the right shoulder to roll open and back. Gaze will either be past right shoulder, or you can align your chin with your chest if you feel any tension in your neck. You always want to be mindful of your neck in a twist. And take an inhale. Exhale, come back to center. Give your legs a little shake, and then we're just gonna swap sides, and I'll turn around this way so you can see. So now, right leg off the mat, left knee's gonna bend, left sole of the foot to the inside of the right leg, and then a block to the inside of your right knee. Make a fist with the right hand, elbow down, ear to fist, and then reach your left fingertips up and overhead. This is your option A. If you want more, you can bend the left elbow and the left hand reaches down for the right as you spin your chest open. You're trying to pin the left hip down and then engage the right leg. Gently press the right hamstring down to the floor. Here, take one more inhale. Exhale, come back to center. Get your prop, loop it around the ball of the right foot. Give yourself enough slack to create length in your spine. Take an inhale, keep that length. Exhale, hinge and fold. You can use the props to deepen. If you don't need the props, scoot them off to the side. And now you're folding over the right leg. Gonna take one more inhale. On the exhale, walk the fingertips back, lift up, take the counter twist to the left. Right fingertips, walk over to the left, left shoulder rolls open, gaze where your neck feels best. Good, take an inhale. Exhale, come through center and give your legs a little shake. Good, I'm gonna turn around again. So this time we're gonna come down to the floor. You're gonna want at least one of your props handy. And by props, I mean yoga blocks or whatever alternative you have for them. And slowly just lower yourself down to the mat. When you get all the way down, take a nice good morning stretch. Reach through the fingertips, reach through the toes, circle out your wrists and your ankles. And then bring your hands down by your side, bend your knees. You're gonna walk your feet back until your middle fingers can brush up against your heels or as close as you can get. And then we'll just add a pulse in this shape. So on your next inhale, press down into the feet, lift your hips. Sweep your arms up and overhead. On your exhale, hips and hands lower to the mat slowly like you're moving through mud. Let's do that again. Inhale. Hips and hands reach up. And then exhale. Lower down one vertebrae at a time. At this point, you're on your own breath rhythm. The inhales take you up. The exhales lower you to the mat. It's okay if you don't look exactly like me right now. You just stay with your own breath rhythm. Next time your hips and your hands reach the mat, just pause there. Then I want you to locate one of your blocks or your alternatives and place the block in between your legs. Once again, you want to make sure that your middle fingers can brush up against your heels or as close as you can get. And on your next inhale, press down into your feet, lift your hips. On your exhale, squeeze your thighs into the block to keep the legs strong. Your hands can rest by your side or they can interlace at the small of your back and you can roll your shoulders underneath. Now, if you want to add one more layer, come up to your tippy toes. The pose will change here. You have to use different muscles to keep your block in place. Now, slowly, one vertebrae at a time, Lower your hips down to the mat. You can remove your prop, but keep it in your hand because you're going to lift up your hips and place your prop to your low back for a supported bridge. You might need to shift it around and find that sweet spot, but you want to have the block or prop support your low back and your hips. Now, if there's no tension in your low back and your hips as you come into the pose, just keep your feet at hip-width distance apart. If there is tension, start to walk your feet wider to the edge of your mat. That'll give you a little bit more space to deal with. And then there's not much more for you to do in this pose but breathe and feel how grounding it can be. Feel the feet press down into the floor. Feel your hips get heavy on your prop. Feel your shoulder blades spread and widen beneath you. And then the back of your head, the base of your skull, gently supported by the mat and the floor. What can you soften here? What can you let go of? You can stay here with the feet flat and the knees bent, or you can bring the knees in closer to you and then lift the legs up towards the ceiling for a waterfall. That'll be our inversion. Now, if you feel wobbly on your block, you can hug it for support. Otherwise, rest your hands where they're comfortable and just enjoy the sense of calm it brings when you reverse your blood flow like this. Allow your hips to get heavy on your prop. Stay with your breath. Now slowly float one foot down to the floor. Allow your other foot to follow. When both feet reach the mat, lift up your hips, scoot the prop off to the side, and slowly bring your hips back down to the floor. Once they hit the floor, hug your knees into your chest. Bring your arms out to the side like a T, and drop your knees to the left for a twist. You can use a prop here to support your knees if they hover quite a bit. And your gaze will start up at the ceiling where it can stay, or your gaze can go away from your knees towards your right thumb. Choose what feels best on the neck this evening. Take a nice deep breath here. On your exhale, bring the knees through center. Drop them to the right for a spinal twist. Gaze where the neck feels best, so either up at the ceiling or away from your knees towards your left thumb. Take a nice deep breath here, and on your exhale, bring the knees back to center. And this time you're going to let your legs go long. We'll set up for our rest pose. Shift around here. Get as comfortable as you can on your back. So if that means bending your knees and bringing the feet flat, feel free to do that. And allow your breath to be easy here. There's no need to control it. Just return to your natural, spontaneous breath. Feel how the mat and the floor supports you. Back of your head gently presses down into the mat. Feel the weight of your shoulders underneath you. Feel the weight of your glute muscles. Feel your heels press down into the floor, or maybe your feet if you have your knees bent. And just know that you have support here. If you're ready to come out, you can slowly start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. If you have more time to devote to your rest pose, take another 5-10 minutes here. Good. If you're ready to come out, you'll bend your knees, bring the knees into the chest, roll over to the side, and just pause here. Use the strength of your top arm to press up to a seat. And as you come to seated, bring the palms of your hands together, press your thumbs into your sternum, and feel your heart beat underneath your thumbs. I want to thank you so much for joining me this evening for yoga, and I hope to see you again next week. Take care.